Hey, so what is going on, everyone? It is me, Mr. Mario.
And Dope Center 930, what is going on?
Oh, not a whole lot, just sitting here recording Mod Chat. What about you, Daniel?
That's funny. I'm doing the same thing.
Oh, no way! I didn't think you'd be doing that. All right. Well, since we're both doing that, we might as well talk about some stuff. And today's topic is, what are we talking about?
We are going to be talking about fake versus real mod chips and just devices, I guess, but focusing definitely on mod chips and clones and things of that nature, and basically, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, and pros, cons, and anything else really. But that's the core of the subject matter.
Exactly. We're going to be talking about authentic versus clones. Real Gucci versus fake Gucci. When you open up the bag and you see the stitching's just not right on there.
My brother bought DC shoes from the swap meet that said like DG or something like that. And my mom was like, "It's the same thing," and then everyone made fun of him. Anyways, that's just. Anyways, let's get into the real.
Oh my
topic.
god, that's funny. Okay, I have to say one thing though. This is just completely random, but Daniel, I've been talking to you twice when you did this, and I'm sorry, I have to call you out on this. Dope Soder here. Every time he orders pizza, he has to go through like 20 minutes of tech support.
Oh my dude, it's a delicate, complicated process, and this time was not my fault. First time I couldn't find a good coupon. Second time there was no option for delivery, and it was I had called the store up and had to have a lady like walk me through how to get my pizza delivered to me. She was so sweet about it though.
We went through like multiple games of Call of Duty where like I'm sitting there playing, and you're just like, dude, I'm not even playing. I've died 4 times because I'm trying to order a pizza. Mr. Mario, what do I do? Do I order soda? Do I not order one?
That's true. Actually, I need a team to like a life coach. I think is what I need. That's what someone told me the other day. I need a life coach.
Oh man, I just had to randomly throw that in because that wouldn't have gone anywhere else.
No, definitely not.
But anyways, the reason why we kind of got onto this topic and everything was due to the fact that I had recently like worked on a few systems and all that, where it felt like 2011 or 2012 all over again, because all of a sudden I had like 4 or 5 Xboxes that I worked on, either my own systems or systems for people, anything like that. And one of them I actually installed a CR3 Lite, which is just a Coolrunner chip, a glitch chip, if you don't know what that is, into a Trinity motherboard for an Xbox 360. And it was a legitimate one and everything, but then I started looking into clone cards and everything. And in case you don't know, clone card is exactly what it is. Years ago, Team Executor, their forums have been well known enough to the point where, mods will yell at you, moderators will yell at you, all that stuff. And people will just be nasty to you overall if you ask like the wrong question or you don't word something properly and you have to include photos, which that last part is kind of understandable, of course, since that's pretty important. But one thing they do not tolerate, they used to, like not at all, was clone cards. Any type of clone devices, if they see it's a fake, it's a clone, it's a reproduction, anything like that, they would not help you and they'd actually ridicule you to a point. Now, it's kind of to the point where if you look in like more recent posts and everything, they're not as mean about it, they're just more like, oh, we can no longer give you support because you have a clone board and we cannot support that board because it's not authentic Team Executor or anything like that. So essentially, we had kind of gotten onto the topic of this. Like Daniel and I were talking a little bit about it before we started recording. And I was saying, it's kind of to the point where, first off, like, I don't really have too much of an issue with clones. I mean, yes, you are like ripping off of another type of thing and all that, but honestly, if they're working, I don't see an issue with them. And the main reason why I also don't see an issue, at least right now in 2015, is because like so many of the products that are being cloned by Team Executor and other types of companies, you can't buy legitimately anymore.
One thing I can say right off the bat is this: is that Team Executor, being a company that is there for one reason and one reason only, which is truly profit. I can understand how, as a company, they wouldn't want fake chips to be discussed or talked about in their forums. And the thing is that I feel like the forums, even though there's all sorts of stuff in the forums not related directly to the products that they do sell, it is one form of a community-based tech support. And again, since it is a branch of Team Executor, again, not saying this is the reason why, but let's say people were to discover that the clones were nearly as good, if not better than, or at least neck and neck with, and that started getting rumored and talked about in the forums. That's not good for business. So obviously I could see as a business standpoint how they wouldn't necessarily want that being discussed in their forums.
Absolutely. Yeah, because any business is there to make money. But, the funny thing is, it's not their forums. If you hop around to other forums, a lot of people say that. They're just like, honestly, once in a while you might get a dud. It depends where you buy from. But most of the time, these clones for a fraction of the price are almost just as good as real Cool Runners.
Yeah, and like I mean, you were telling me too, with looking around that you found some for $7, $8, whatever, versus 20, $25. And the thing is, I will say that like with maybe a larger purchase, it's a little bit sketchier if there's no type of returns on it. I mean, let's say there was just this is just circumstantial, but let's say there was something that the true one cost $100 and the fake one was $70. Well, at that point, I mean, yeah, it's a $30 savings, but you're talking about wider ranges of money. $70, I have a harder time potentially getting a dud versus $6, $7, $8. It's more of like it's more of a realistic range and where you'd be willing to at least take a gamble, if you can call it that, and potentially get a dud, but potentially get something that's great for a fraction of the cost, 50% or less than 50% of it.
Exactly. Now, one thing I will ask you with that. Now, let's say there was that $70 versus $100 thing. If people told you that the $70 thing most of the time operated just as well, maybe even like about the same as a $100 product, would you still hop on that, or would you still get the authentic $100 product?
So this is a hilarious question because I just purchased my lens for my Canon camera. It's a clone lens, and it just came out, and I looked at reviews on it, and people were saying that it performs as good, if not better, than Canon's. I think I paid 70-ish, maybe $80 for it, while Canon's is about $115. So that actually is right around the price that I kind of just listed off, and I did it. So I mean, yeah, I guess I would.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that makes sense. I probably would too, because even thinking about it, honestly, while we're talking about this, it's kind of floating around in my head, and it's funny because the last episode we were talking about modding versus piracy, and you could almost even say that this is kind of a physical form of piracy in some way, but it's almost, I don't even look at it like that, especially when, like, you can go to Walmart, for example, and even with medicine, it's not like, the same, like, shadiness and all that, but they have the regular brand, and they have the Equate brand, which is like $5 less or a few dollars less, whatever it is.
Well, one thing I'll say is this is that everything is a knockoff of something else.
Oh, absolutely.
Everyone's looking over at their neighbor in terms of companies like that, trying to figure out, and they do studies on what they're doing better. I mean, that's what it all is. So in this sense, I definitely don't feel bad at all. Again, the reason why I originally went with Team Executor stuff and always basically stuck with theirs is because, again, one, it was readily available to me, the price was fair, and three, I had the community if I ever had any questions. And again, if you took a picture of it and they saw it was authentic Team Executor, they'd help you. So like knowing that and having that peace of mind made it worthwhile for me. But in lots of other senses, again, if you've got at least a decent amount of feedback from people saying it's solid, it's fine, then what the hell? Why not take a chance on it?
Exactly.
If you can even really call it a chance, if you've got feedback and you've got proof, then how much of a chance are you really taking?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and see, the thing is, it's very back and forth, because one big thing, Daniel, I think you'll agree with me on this, is the install process as well too. Like, for example, there could be somebody who buys a clone board and they install it in their system and they say, oh, this thing doesn't work, it's the system's complete, like, not the system, it's the board is just terrible because it's a clone, I'm never buying fake again. But here's the thing, if they don't install it properly, like they're really bad at soldering and all that, they can swap a real board in there and it's probably still not going to work very well.
Oh, dude, well, one thing I will definitely vouch for is that, I mean, look at how many people have failed installs with a real board. So, I mean, the thing is, in my mind, again, like one of the things I had said earlier, looking at a Coolrunner board, say what you want to say, it is not a very complex board. It really is not very complicated. And
don't let Team Executor hear you say that. They're going to be mad.
I could give two shits about what Team Executor thinks of it. I have roasted on them. I don't care, dude. They make good products, but I feel like the team's douchebags. And this is a completely.
I just want to say, to my defense, I mostly agree with you. Some of them are cooler. There's only a minority of Team Executor I have issues with.
Uber Geek's a fag. I'm just kidding. I didn't mean it. I mean, I kind of feel bad because I don't usually use that term like in that sense either. But anyway, what the hell was I even saying now? Now I'm just so like, I'm in like just talk shit mode. Anyways, God damn it! What the,
I was trying to sit here and say, hey, my opinion's different than yours and all that, and then you were going into the whoa, I'm gonna drop this. I'm like, whoa, we're not saying that. No, I mean you were talking. Damn, I don't know what we were talking about unless we actually go back into the audio file.
I remember now. I do remember. Okay. I was saying that the Coolrunner as a general board is not a very complex board.
And then I said, don't let Team Executor hear you say that.
Yeah, and then things got carried out of proportion. I apologize to anyone I may offend in this commentary, or not commentary, but audio chat. I don't even know what we're doing right now.
Yeah, Coolrunner's basic board. Just go to that. We need to go back.
Yeah. Coolrunner is a basic board in my opinion. Again, do I know everything that goes into it? Obviously not. But I'm saying I've seen very complicated things get cloned, and if they're able to do that in a somewhat decent job, I feel like they can definitely clone a board like a Coolrunner and make it where it functions at least to a functional standard. And my big thing is this: is like I have never been the type where when they came out all these new boards where it said faster boot times, I couldn't give two shits ever about the faster boot times, Mr. Mario. Like for me, like it was more bragging rights than anything. But if you've got a problem with waiting 60 seconds for your console to turn on, like dude, just I can't. I don't get it, dude. Like go. Scratch your ass or something. I don't get it. Like go get a drink. I mean, 60 seconds really makes a huge difference. I don't get it. That's my biggest thing. So
I will say honestly, I don't want to say. I'm trying not to sound slow with it. It does make a difference. Like if it's like 5-10 seconds, I don't mind. But I have a Corona board up here, like a Corona system that's it's Flash and it has a daemon and a Coolrunner installed. Daniel, this thing takes like 3 to 5 minutes to boot.
That's a little more frustrating, dude. I'm talking. Okay, at least I'm saying in the 60-second window doesn't really faze me, dude. 60 seconds, dude.
Okay, I understand that, but no, I was gonna say, like, Daniel, just imagine, like, I've had to do this. You're updating the system, and you update it, and then it reboots, and it's like you wait 5 minutes for it to turn on, and you update, and then you have to reboot it, and you have to wait another 5 minutes, and then sometimes it fails booting, so you have to turn it off and wait another 3 minutes.
That would piss me off.
Exactly. That's why I don't use this system.
Okay, well, I guess in that scenario, I'm more talking through personal experience. And my personal experience.
By the way, that's Team Executor legit stuff in there. I'm just saying.
Ooh, shit's weak. But yeah, I mean, in my personal experience, I've had a couple difficult boards, but most of them, like, I'd say the most stubborn board I ever had was like a 2-minute boot time, and like honestly, to me, that it wasn't even life or death. It was a little frustrating in times where I was working with it, trying to do tutorials, and I had to turn it on and off quite a few times. Damn right. But I mean, for me, again, if you've got a clone board for half the cost or a little bit less than that, and your boot times are 60 seconds versus 15 seconds, who gives a shit, dude? Mm-hmm. I mean, again, personal opinion, sure. Maybe there are people that really do care. To me, it's bragging rights. Be patient, guys. Come on, 40 seconds. That's to me. I don't. My point of view, but I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it, dude.
Do you feel better?
This is therapeutic.
I can tell that was a huge. Like I feel like like when I was ranting about the PS3, that's like you right now. I bet you feel better now.
I do. I don't feel worse, man. I'm gonna go. Like,
okay.
Hey, towel me.
Yeah, I will say this. And it's almost weird saying this because of course it's such a big country and everything. But Danny, you also got to realize the real and fake Coolrunners are from China. They're all from the same place.
Yeah, well, yeah, damn right they are. Just
so it's factory. Like, of course, like, different factories and everything, but I'm like, well, it's all really from the same place, and, if they're, like, bumming schematics off other people, reversing all this other stuff, because, honestly, the main big thing in the Coolrunner itself is, that little X-Link chip, and then the rest of the board, you have to, like, build it, put in all the stuff and everything, but people even said, the biggest part of that is the X-Link chip that holds, the actual, BIOS, you could say, and the timing files and everything.
Yeah, I just feel like how hard would it really be for a company to somehow know someone that works for the company that somehow has access to the blueprint / schematics of the chip, and bam. I mean, everything gets ripped off. My uncle is a software and hardware engineer, and he created his own it's like a debugging system. He spent like probably not even bullshit, 5 to 10 years designing this thing, and he even said he knows it's only a matter. He's taken countless steps to ensure that it doesn't get ripped off, and And he says he doesn't think that because it's a pretty complex, like everything about it is really complicated. But he says it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Somehow, some way, someone gains access to the code behind it and the overall schematics of the board. It's gonna happen, dude. And so again, I feel like somebody's got the blueprints to that damn Coolrunner out there in China, dude. It's no way that it's in a locked up vault,
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say about your uncle and everything, when I talked with one IT company and I talked with their security division, all that, they put it the best. They said, the security aspect is hard and hackers have it easy because when it comes to security, your job is closing up entrances. So you can close up 1 million entrances. A hacker needs one open entrance, and that's it.
That's true. That's true. All they need is one hole to crawl into versus all of it's like zombies, dude.
Exactly.
Trying to board your house up, and all it takes is one window, and they're in.
Yeah. And then that's when you die, and you're like, shit, I was at level 46.
Yeah, and then you're just bummed on it. So you order a pizza.
Now, if we could start bootlegging pizza, that would be cool.
Dude, I'm trying to build a 3D printer that can print dough.
That would be amazing if it could do that. The only thing is, would it have, that nice, like hand-pressed feel to it, or would it be like, oh, this tastes like a machine?
I'd probably have to do a 3D printer that prints dough, and then another printer that just like has hands that press down on it.
I think that would be slightly creepy.
I don't care, dude. Don't judge me, man. When you're eating my pizza, you can be like, yeah, it's creepy, but God, it's some damn good pizza.
I'm sure I would. I would definitely have pizza with you.
I call it like Mechza or something like that.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be pretty badass. Well, one other thing I was thinking about was this, dude. Is like, think about like the whole R4 cards for DSs. Think about how many knockoffs. They are all knockoffs of each other, dude.
They are, dude. Even in the 3DS scene, like there's other cards that cropped up that are just complete ripoffs of the Gateway or the Sky 3DS.
Even R4 has subdivisions of R4 that are knockoffs of R4.
Yeah, they do.
So I mean, it's like you don't know, you don't know unless you're in that factory, and you've contacted the R4. Because the thing is, if you even try to contact the true R4, it's hard to contact the true R4 because there's a lot of R4s that seem to be the true R4. So I mean, there's really no way of knowing. You're taking a risk almost every time that, like, whether it's authentic, whether it'll be, supported by the, original. It's just stuff like that, man. I mean,
and for something like this, now I want to say if it was like something big, like a car or something like that, yes, I don't want it to be legitimate. But if it's something like, like a little piece like that or whatever, I'm just like, honestly, I'm going to be like most other people. As long as it works, I don't mind. Because here's the thing. I actually know a few people as well who do services, and they're honest about it. They don't try and pass off their stuff, because I will say what makes you scumbag is, first off, even for the clone stuff, I really don't support that they put the branding on there. Like, if it's a fake board, don't put branding on there. Just brand it to something else.
Yeah.
But of course, that's how it's going to get known. And second, if you are an installer, you're selling these services, please notify people that you're using clone boards or fake boards. I guarantee if you bring down the price a little bit and you tell them, and as long as it works, they're not going to care. I really don't think they will. And the reason I think that is because I know several installers who do this as a service. They use fake boards, and they've told me, they said, I like using legit Team Executor stuff, but the clone boards are cheaper. I want to try working with them. I've installed them. They work just as well most of the time as legit ones. And they've even asked their customers, they're like, hey, if I bring down the price by like 10 or 15 bucks, I can install a clone board in here. And the customer will ask, what's the difference? And they'll just say, it's just not official Team Executor. You're not going to get official support, anything like that. And the customers, most of the time, like almost all the time, they just say, okay, well, as long as the Xbox works and you can save me money, I don't mind.
Well, one thing, too, is that if you're someone that's probably getting your Xbox installed, you're probably not the one that's going to be even getting its service, because you probably don't even really understand the ins and outs of it all. You just want something that works. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not the techie, probably. I mean, you're not techie, but like you're not the hardware person. So you probably would contact your installer, if anything, and say, hey, what's going on with this? And again, my thing is this: it's not even like obviously you don't want to tell someone, if like you're a service guy, oh, it's a fake board. Like, it's about how you word it. You just basically
that's why there's clone. You have to make it sound nice.
It's not, clone sounds way better than like fake ass knockoff.
It's a clone, or it's an unofficial board, or it doesn't have official support.
Yeah, that's all you gotta say. I would say it's a clone board. It's not an authentic board, but the functionality is that of the same. It's similar blueprint and whatever.
Dude, Daniel, I heard one of the best interpretations of flashing a drive. This is on Craigslist. This is years ago. It was my local Craigslist, and somebody was advertising drive flashing on. And when you do that, you have to make it sound very low level and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said they were advertising, and they said, I do, all this stuff, your Xbox will work just fine, everything, and they said, I do have to open up the system, however, all I need to do is send a few files onto your Xbox using a port internally, but aside from that, I'm not going to do anything else to your system.
Why?
Do you know how nice that sounds?
But, my thing is, though, I don't know if I would tell people that, dude.
He changed his wording several times in different ads and everything, but he was trying to make it sound nice and all that. No, I don't have to install anything like that. He just said I need to put a few files on there, but I have to send it through a port inside the Xbox.
Well, here's my thinking. One, when he says that, does it make the customer think oh, this sounds like that's simple. Yeah, of course, great. Granted, that does. But on the other hand, if you say it like that, then maybe the customers would be like, "That's all you're doing? Why are you charging me $30 for it? Bullshit." That's my only thing. Is when you say it like that, you make it sound like you're doing absolutely jack shit.
Well, some people have asked me that before, and I just retort, I'm just like, okay, well, if it's so easy, why are you asking me to do it?
Yeah, that's true. A lot of people. I mean, I definitely, again, me being one of these people before this whole Xbox scene, and now me just loving to break and make things. I will say that a lot of people either don't want to, or too lazy, or are scared to tinker with things, even if it seems simplistic. Man, it's uncharted waters, and not a lot of people are willing to potentially break something that's at least somewhat functional at this point to potentially get a little bit better or more features out of it.
Exactly. My parents are the type of people, they're like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Those types of people. So they hated me modding systems when I was younger and all that, because they're like, Danny, your system works, don't add anything to it, don't do it, just don't put any files on there, nothing like that. And I was the type of person, I'm just like, well, I can make it better.
Yeah. My parents, they bought when we had our first Xbox that we had gotten for Christmas, the Elite one that I talked about. When I didn't mod the Xbox at the time, so they didn't say it when I first got it. But after I had been modding stuff for a while, they were like, just don't touch the original Xbox. I was like, that's yours and your brother's. Leave it alone. I was like, yeah, of course. No, it's it's fine. It's a stock Xbox. I modded the shit out of it, dude. I did a full board swap. It was a Falcon. I put in a Jasper. It wasn't even the same Xbox by the time we got rid of it, dude. I just couldn't. But again. I can understand certain parts of it, and it wasn't really the only reason why I did that was because I knew if I were to break it, I'd get my brother instantly another Xbox. But there's times when it's not cool. If you're not gonna be able to replace it, you shouldn't tamper with someone else's shit, at the risk of it. And again, I wish, dude, I wish that since day one I could have a chart showing how much money I've spent on just parts, gas, broken Xboxes, everything. Oh, it is, dude. It is going to be stupid high. It's stupid high.
I was about to say, would it make you just feel sad when you look at it, or what?
I don't think so. I think it'd be more just stoked on it. Yeah, look at all that money, dude. I could have bought a house,
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, when I worked at McDonald's for that year, dude, at least 50 to 60% of each paycheck went towards Xbox modding stuff. At least, bare minimum, dude. I took out my gas money, I took out the money I had to pay for my car, and a little bit of money to hang out with the girlfriend, and the rest of it was all towards electronic shit, dude. And I mean, that was it. It's still pretty much like that, to be perfectly honest with you. Now
it's different stuff. Now it's 3D printing.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
Food and all that.
Yeah, exactly, dude. It's pretty damn similar. The amount of money I spend on tinkering and YouTube stuff is just crazy. And again, I can understand how your average Joe that isn't so invested in has YouTube stuff and is just so into this stuff with forums and all that, why they wouldn't want to go through all the hassle. You know what I'm saying?
Of course. I'll say this, coming back to the topic and all that, one big thing, one reason why I'm more or less, okay with clone hardware and all that, is also because, as I kind of mentioned earlier, availability of it. If you try, honestly, it used to be, it was easy to find all this stuff online. Now it's because Team Executor's pretty much discontinued nearly everything, you really can't find authentic stuff that easily. Even the CR4 that just came out maybe 6-7 months ago, tops, something like that, That's hard to find. Like, I've looked, I really can't find it in stock in many places, but the clone stuff is still very readily in stock, and there's a lot of it, so I'm okay with that. And even I was telling Daniel about this prior to this, because it was funny. I looked up all this stuff last night, and then I went to bed, and this morning when I woke up, I looked on, I guess I'll just be specifically saying this, I looked at my comments, and on one of my videos, it was about my Mayflash GameCube to Wii U adapter, like the USB adapter, and essentially this is just a 4-port GameCube adapter for the Wii U. It also works on PC as well, so there's that nice added benefit with it, but essentially somebody commented on there, and they said something like, it was negative, but they're just like, don't buy this is junk, buy the official Nintendo one, and I just commented, I'm just like, you know what? I would buy the official Nintendo one if I could find the official Nintendo one. Maybe Nintendo should actually keep their stuff in stock so I could give them my money instead of a third-party vendor.
Yeah. Times like that, dude. I mean, one other thing I could think of right now would be like, I know a lot of people that have either, let's say, classic cars or locally here. I mean, it's a lot of Honda Civics that from like the 80s, 90s and shit, and you can't get OEM parts for those things anymore, really, dude. I mean, obviously they've got, old junk lots and stuff like that, but you're getting them pretty much all through third party remakes that make those car parts for a fraction of the cost, and a lot of them are plenty good, dude.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many factors. I mean, even right now I'm looking here, I've got a Dremel, which you call it a Dremel because Dremel's the company that everyone knows it from that makes them, but I bought one on Amazon, the top selling one, but from Black & Decker for, instead of spending $100, I think I paid $30 for it, and the son of a bitch is kicking ass, dude. It cuts through steel. It's compatible with all of Dremel's add-on tools. Like, I don't see why you wouldn't go with that one. There's just so many. Again, this is not modding and this is not video game related stuff. But I'm just saying, like, I don't see what is wrong with it. I do understand though. Like, just again, when it comes to like back to the whole software piracy and piracy in general and stuff like that. That if Team Executor were to release something and a week after a clone is made and it's just kicking its ass, that's way cheaper, it's not going to help with innovation and performing and the bettering of future chips and whatnot, because they won't have the money to back the devs and stuff like that. So I can see that aspect of it, but at least like you said in this point of the game where the executors made their money on the 360, they made plenty, and obviously they're not supplying their suppliers anymore.
Yeah, that's one big thing. As I said, I would buy their stuff if they supplied it.
Yeah, and now like X consoles doesn't got like nothing anymore, and this is a time now, especially where, damn right, dude, there's no reason that you shouldn't at least try out some clones or get some clones for a fraction of the cost, dude. Like, it's not hurting Executor at all. I'm sure that their eyes are elsewhere at this point, so I don't feel remotely bad about it,
Mm-hmm. And see, I the only thing I would have against it really is just the branding, as I said, because it's like, even like your Dremel type thing, yes, it's a different type of Dremel, it uses all the compatible stuff, but I'm more okay with that because it's Black & Decker branded. Like, this is stuff that is branded as Team Executor, but if they say it's a clone, and if you're buying it from someone and they say it's a clone, I don't see an issue with that. It's more, I have an issue with like the branding. Now, if you could like, take off the branding, something like that, I'm more okay with it, but either way, if it's, my only other thing is if you're not going to take off the branding, at least say it's a clone outright.
Well, that's factual. That if you aren't saying it's a clone and you're selling it as a regular and it's not, that's bullshit. But I will say this is that the only thing I could see also, again, coming from Team Executor's standpoint as to the main reason why they wouldn't want logos on bullshit boards that aren't theirs is that because people, are going to buy them thinking it's authentic, having it not work, and then thinking Team Executor makes dog shit product.
Mm-hmm. There's actually... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was pretty much done at that. No, I'm just saying, and obviously as a company, you don't want that because that looks bad as a company, even though it's not your fault.
Of course, there's actually been several people. There was one I saw, which I'm gonna have to send you the link to, dude, because this person butchered it. It was so bad. But there was a kid who ended up, and he was 12. He even said he was 12, so I'm not saying, in a bad way or anything. But there was a kid who ended up buying an RGH system, and he said, this thing's been glitching for the past few days, and it stopped working, so I decided to open it up and try and fix it. And, he completely burned up everything trying to resolder all this stuff. But the funny thing was then, when he provided pictures of the actual chip, that's when Team Executor, the people on there, they're just like, we can't support you now because that is a fake chip. But the funny thing is, this guy, of course, this kid did not know that it was fake, so he got kind of burned on it. But what I find hilarious is, specifically with the Coolrunners, they went up to, there's the Coolrunner 4 and all that, but like out of the revisions they did A, B, and C. There's actually a fake Coolrunner that doesn't even exist, and it's called a revision D. And that's based off like it's some type of hacked up upgrade, and it's different in some other ways. I think it's more for Corona boards from what I've seen, but that's a fake of something that doesn't even exist, and that's really funny to see too, because that happens in like the watch game and all that other stuff, where there's like fakes that come out that have designer names on them, and it's just like these are based off watches that don't even exist.
That is funny. I've heard of Rev D quite a lot, and I know like I if someone said yeah I've got a Rev D, I'd be like okay, like I wouldn't instantly go like that's a fake. I didn't even know, like I know Rev C was the last ones I ever had, and then I thought they transitioned to like the CR or whatever. But I if someone had told me like hey I got a Rev D, I'd be like oh cool, like great. I don't know, dude. That's funny because even I personally didn't know that the Rev D was a clone chopped up upgrade of a Coolrunner.
The more you know. Yeah, I'll send you pictures of that as well too. But yeah, no, just for anybody out there, if you're trying to get one of the slim Coolrunners, anything like that, or any of like the tiny ones, up to Rev C, those are the legit ones. Anything Rev D is a fake. They never made a Rev D.
Huh? That's funny. That's as clicks delete on shopping cart of 10 Rev Ds. Oh my god, no, that's wild. Good to know.
You know what? I'm sure they would work just fine.
Yeah, I'm sure they would work just fine. Maybe better than Rev C, authentic.
Yeah, oh man, you're on fire.
Get at me. I'll be here all night. Oh my god.
Oh,
yeah, but I don't know. I from my end, dude, I feel like I'm pretty content with where we're at right now. I don't know how much, like, if you've got stuff to add, then by all means continue. But like, I feel like I've just said so much.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm feeling good about the content as well too. The only thing added to this is if you're watching this in the YouTube section and all that, please leave a comment letting us know what you think of this and everything, and what your opinions are on these clones as well too. Because honestly, I guess my whole thing really is more, if there's a little bit of time that's been spaced out and it's branded differently, or it's specifically said that it's a clone, or the person you're buying it from, they tell you it's a clone, I don't have much of an issue with it, especially like even if it's a fraction of the cost and it works out the same, I don't mind, because they do the same thing, with clothes, with watches, with medicine, all that other stuff. It's just rebranded and it might be a little bit cheaper, but it does the same thing. But overall, I think it's fine, especially even in a time like this where like legitimately I was trying to buy Coolrunners and all that. I ended up getting my last ones from Johnny. I actually bought some from him because he had, some extra inventory. I was looking for some. He was nice enough to sell them to me. But, if you don't have a link or you don't have someone like that or anything, try buying this stuff online. You really can't authentically. It's pretty hard to now.
Yeah, I'd also be curious to know when it comes to Xbox 360 modding stuff, if anyone has experience using clones and how their experience was, whether it was good, good, bad, happy, sad, or anything like that. Just to, I don't know, just to have for reference, because I'm sure also that, with these Coolrunner clones, they can't all be coming from just one factory. There's probably multiple factories with multiple clones of the Coolrunners, and maybe some have higher or lower quality control than others.
Oh, of course, there definitely has to be. But we're not even talking about just the 360 scene alone. We're talking about that because we've been most invested in that. But I'm also talking about, the PS3 scene, anything else like that, because there's fake E3 flashers and all that stuff out there as well.
Oh yeah, I think I have seen a little bit on that, but not as much. Well, because I wasn't as invested, I guess, so I didn't see as much. But I definitely know that with that one, and then also I know too. Back to one thing with the R4 cards is that when I was pretty like messing around with them a lot and doing videos on them and stuff, I got quite a few non-authentic ones from the person I was getting them from, and they would like either brick or they would usually brick, dude, when you try to update them. Like the companies, the companies like in China would allow, like, I mean, I guess I get it, but they would totally brick them if you tried to update them and they weren't authentic.
The only thing I guess I'm kind of one-upping here on that, but actually with Gateway, they ended up releasing a kill code which would actually brick 3DS systems.
That's so fucked up, dude.
Yeah, like they put that in their code, so if you had a fake Gateway and you tried updating it, it would somehow brick the system, not just the Gateway.
That wasn't Nintendo. That was actually Gateway.
That was Gateway. Yeah, they put their own kill code in there, so if the update tried to run on any non-authentic cartridges, it would brick the system.
How do you justify that? How do you sleep at night, dude? Dude, that's not even. What if the poor person thought it was authentic? That's such bullshit, dude. Oh, dude, that is not, dude. Dude, I would drive up to their factory with my broken 3DS and throw it through their window and then drive off. Dude.
And they'd be like, "Thanks for the 3DS."
Yeah, then they have like the unbrick code. I'm like, you bastards. God, that's gnarly. Yeah, that's definitely gnarlier than my story. Screw mine. That's crazy, dude.
It's
'Cause I
okay.
do remember
Your
hearing
story
that.
was good. It's just I had heard your story first, then I was able to think of something better.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm kidding.
You're like Tony the Tony the Tiger from Frosted Flakes.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, your cereal's good, but mine's great. Oh God, dude. I feel like I'm tired. I feel like I'm tired at this point, man.
It's all good. It's all good. That's what makes these better.
Yeah, I'm just hoping people are laughing and like it's like not necessarily too much at my expense, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, hey, we've gone from pizza to Coolrunners to E3 to Gateway stuff, so I think we were pretty well rounded here.
Yeah, it sounds good.
But
man.
I guess as Chief Keef would say, fake Gucci, that's that shit I don't like.
Oh my God, yeah, he would say that shit.
He would, except he would like more mumble it and everything. But you know what I mean.
All that drugs.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
All right, well, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. Anyways, this has been Mr. Mario. Thank you very much for listening and all that. And as always, it's been a pleasure working with you all on all this stuff. We have fun doing it. And if you have anything else to say, please leave a comment down below. Both Daniel and I would love to hear what you're thinking about all this.
And this is Dopestar 930, and as Mr. Mario said, thank you very much. And keep up the comments, the feedback. I mean, we text each other back and forth about it every time we release a video, and the feedback is still absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, if you are just tuning in for the first time, which I feel like most of you guys would have been following the series, do you want to at least, Mr. Mario, tell them if they just want to like download the audio, where they can get all that from?
Yes, you can go ahead and get it from iTunes. It's going to be on Podbean as well. All the links are going to be down below in the description. Also, there's going to be Dope Soner's YouTube channel where you can check him out. And also, we have a ModChat Facebook page, which is mostly dead, aside from me, posting occasional funny stuff on there.
Sorry, that's my fault.
It's okay. It's okay. I will say this, though, last thing. Dude, I've seen a few people who, like, they've said they start listening in, because it's like, there could be a person who listens to episode 5 and this is their first one, but there are people who have said that they like the show and they've never even been invested in modding and they don't have an interest in it. Do you know how exciting that is?
That's weird. I mean, like, I'm stoked on it, but I'm just, like, wondering what they're attaining from. Maybe just like our personalities. We got kicking personalities potentially.
Maybe, but like I was just like mind blown by that, and that just like that stuff makes me smile, because I'm like, dude, like we're like branching out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, like, bottom line is, like, I don't care your reasoning for watching us, as long as you're enjoying it. That's all that matters to me.
Absolutely, we're entertaining here. We're trying to, at least.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. All right. Well, this is Mr. Mario signing off. Thank you all for listening, everyone.
And Dope Soner. Peace, guys.